Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. This is the show where we talk about all things Xbox, and what a week for Xbox. It was the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, and it went really, really well. Thank you for being here. We're doing this on Monday night. We normally record this on Friday night, but because the showcase was Sunday, we decided to wait. Also, we were traveling, so
Just
this worked out
days.
perfectly. So we made sure that we could watch the showcase, talk about it with you guys, and give our analytics. Before we get started, let's actually just jump into some questions.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's
all
right.
Why not? You know.
Actually, that's not. I thought there was a different question.
I think it's the first time he's reading the question.
No, well, I know there was one I was going to read the one asking just what we thought about the Bethesda Showcase.
Well, how about this, David? I'll ask the question.
Yeah, give me.
Just give me a quick overall of what your thoughts are on the Xbox Showcase.
Yeah, are you ready for this?
TLDR.
Are you ready for this? I'm going to be called a
Shill. We talked
Shill.
about this word before the show.
A what?
a shill.
Shill.
I don't know that word.
You're shilling for something.
It means you're a fanboy. I'm going to be called a fanboy. I think this was one of Xbox's best conferences. I think they absolutely nailed everything that they needed to nail. What did they need to nail? They needed to nail hype for upcoming AAA games. They did that. They needed to say, hey, guess what, guys? We're working with Japan. They definitely nailed that.
Came out of nowhere. We'll talk about that later in the show.
Quadruple time.
Yeah.
And then they just had to sell me on Game Pass more. A lot of the critiques that I am seeing by the opposition, as it were, or those who think that they hate Xbox because they don't know anything about Xbox.
I just
They keep saying they didn't sell me on why I should buy an Xbox, because they're not trying to sell you an Xbox, bro. They're trying to sell you Game Pass. They're trying to sell you a subscription. And on that level, I think they absolutely nailed it. I think it's one of the most solid ones that they've had. Everything on there was, and they said this up front, everything being shown tonight will release in the next 12 months. I like that. Now, but going into this, I did think that what you need to do is you need to show what's out there 4 years ahead and just get us really hyped. I think there was enough here today that they didn't need to do that, or rather this weekend that they didn't need to do that, namely Starfield. But before we get to Starfield, let's just talk about some of the games. I don't want to go through all of the games. I do want to go through some of your favorites. I'll start. I'll go with one that I really, really liked. Where's my notes? I have notes.
Oh, you came prepared.
Yeah, I took
Except
big
you didn't
notes.
read the questions.
Oh, and one of the things that I think went under the wire as well? There's a couple things, but one of the ones that I think went under the wire, the Riot Games Game Pass announcement.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And if you notice what they said, so for those of you who haven't watched it yet, go and watch it. Or if you're not going to watch it, you want to listen to this first. They announced a Riot Games partnership. Was it the CEO or something of Riot Games that was on there?
One of the heads,
title. Yeah. And all of their games, whether it's Teamfight Tactics, League of Legends, Valorant, they are all on Game Pass. You get all of the characters, unlock them all for each season.
And
if you have Game Pass,
that's pretty big for a game like League of Legends.
That is huge.
And Valorant.
But here's the key that he said, and we're just getting started.
So that gave me. So when I first saw this, I thought it was Valorant. Because it's all Riot's games, but I'm going to focus mostly on Valorant. I thought it was coming to console. And I was like,
I kind of gave that impression.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my goodness.
I think it is coming to console.
Because how many times have I said, I just want
I
a
don't think
good...
they actually announced that, though, David.
No, they didn't, but he said...
And
this
more to
is
come.
More to come. This is
Okay,
just the
okay.
beginning.
Yeah, so how many times have I said I really want a good Counter-Strike-like game on the console? Valorant is a good game on the PC, right? I think it would do well on the console. But anyway, so I was a little bit bummed that it wasn't coming to the console, but having all that in Game Pass, especially from a character standpoint, because these games technically are all free to play, like League of Legends and Valorant, but the characters you unlock, like the hero characters,
Yep.
all included with Game Pass is actually a really big deal, especially when it comes to League. Very cool. And the more to come, I think maybe...
I think it's console.
But
I agree.
also,
Yes.
what?
Mm?
Riot is developing an MMO that everybody's excited for.
Ooh, I like that.
So is
I
this a
like that.
long-term partnership with Riot? Maybe the MMO?
Here's why it's smart. So I was watching some, again, Yahoos. who they were like, this was the most boring show I've ever seen. And I was like, were we watching the same thing, guys? I'm not sure that we were. We just have completely different subjectives. But they were like, they did this weird thing with Riot Games. Why does that matter if they're not on Xbox? Like, I want to see those on console. That would have been big news. No, idiot. It's big news because you just gave PC players. League of Legends is one of the biggest team fight tactics. Valorant. 3 of the biggest games on PC for PC players. You just gave everybody a very good incentive that plays those games to subscribe to Game Pass. That's the purpose of that, and that's why it's a big deal.
Yeah, because you get all the characters.
I'm very passionate about it.
You're not having to pay for all. You're not having to pay for all the new characters. They're all included with Game Pass, in addition to the rest of the Game Pass.
Well, I just don't understand. Like, I've seen multiple people say, like, the Riot thing was just weird. They shouldn't have even announced. Like, what are you talking about? That's absolutely huge. That is because I do think that the weak link on Game Pass is the PC side. If I'm on PC, there really isn't a huge incentive if I'm only a PC gamer to be there. Now you just tapped. What you're doing is you're trying to tap into these audiences. You're partnering with Riot to bring those audiences into your Game Pass subscription, and they will stay as a result. A portion, even if not all of them stay, a portion of them will stay, and it benefits you. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, baby. Well done, Xbox, on that Riot Games, and well done, Riot Games. And I'm excited to see. I think it is coming to console. I think you're absolutely right.
I hope so. That'd be cool, especially I think League of Legends would actually control really well on console because it's how it is, top down.
I think MOBAs are just made for console.
No, they're really good on
joysticks.
Yeah, they're really good on joysticks.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you my favorite one, like games that stuck out to me. Just one. We'll all go through one.
Okay.
Let's leave Starfield for the end because, spoiler alert, Starfield absolutely blew it out of the water. But I want to talk about that last. I am very, very curious about Minecraft Legends, actually. That was one that I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
I'm very curious at what happens here.
I still don't know what it is, but I'm interested in it.
I think it's actually very smart of Microsoft to be...
It's an adventure game,
it was up there on like row 3.
I know, I was just scrolling down a little bit to make it all appear.
I think what was interesting about Minecraft Legends is they had success with Minecraft Dungeons. Now let's peel off another IP, and they called it a new action strategy game. And when you look at it, it looks like you go around and you recruit players to attack a point, or attack your opponents rather. And it looks interesting. It has piqued my interest. I like the shell. What is the art style? Shell shade. I like the shell shade. Cell shade. Is it cell or shell? Cell shade. My bad. I like the cell shade look. I think it looks really good. So this is just the beginning. They're setting it up here. If we go to the end, second half, we can see the gameplay, and I think it looks really interesting. Oh, what did you think, Jordan?
I thought it looked cool. I thought it was Minecraft Dungeons 2 at first.
I know.
Minecraft Dungeons 2.
I was thinking like I don't know, RTS or something. I couldn't figure out what it actually was.
No, it's not. I don't think it's an RTS because they called it
an action strategy game.
Yeah.
But when you're initially watching it, you're trying to figure out what it actually is, and we now know it's an action strategy game.
So here's what I think. I think you give like free roam world, and maybe you come up on boss fights, or something, and see like right there, you're using your guys to wage battle, almost like a tower defense to take over an area is what it looks like to me. I think it looks cool. I think it's smart.
Well, what is cool is it's the overworld versus the underworld,
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Unite the overworld, baby. Unite it. This one, and then obviously, anyways, this one was like a nice little surprise. I'm like, ooh, piqued my curiosity. Jordan, how about you?
I think 100% the biggest thing for me is the new game that Microsoft is making with Hideo Kojima.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We don't even know what it is.
Explain what like.
So
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that did. So basically, Phil Spencer came on and he talked about getting new partners for Xbox, and he says we've partnered up with basically a legend of the industry, which he is. Anyway, and he it flashed over to Hideo Kojima, who is very traditionally makes games for PlayStation, but is a very prominent developer and a very prominent Japanese developer.
He's a Japanese game developer rock star.
Yeah.
He is like the leather jacket of the gaming world in Japan.
Yeah.
Every time he makes a game, it makes waves and makes noise. Like, even if you don't like his games.
Like Death Stranding.
Yeah, even if you don't like his games.
It was a discussion piece.
It was, yeah.
Well, it is. Like Jordan was telling me this earlier. He made a game like about UPS delivery, which is that game,
Yeah.
with like a weird infatuation with embryos. And you really are just like a UPS delivery guy, but everybody played it. A lot of people liked it. You know, it's like he takes concepts that you never would have.
Well, he's not afraid to push outside the box.
Yeah.
And I think that's
what's cool is
and I think that's what a lot of game developers don't do.
Yeah,
There are some that do it, but there's a lot that like he does. Like I said, you may not like his games, but you got to respect the fact that
he's a risk taker.
Yeah. He does. And Death Stranding was a fun game.
When what he did well, or not what he did well, but what he said here is, this is something I've always wanted to do. This project that I'm working on is something I've dreamt about doing and haven't.
No. He said here, I have it here, and this is what makes me excited.
Get the quote.
I'll get it. Towards the end because it was at the end of the show. I'm almost there. Maybe.
Do you want me to fill some time?
Yeah, fill some time.
Defenestrator says it's long past time that Xbox got into the
unborn fetus delivery game.
PlayStation leads in that genre.
He basically paraphrasing said that this is a game he has always wanted to make.
That's what I just said. Paraphrased.
But anyway. So we don't even know what it is yet, but it's him.
David, sometimes we just tune you out, man. Sometimes.
Literally what I just said.
No, but it was really cool seeing him on the Xbox stage, and the fact that he's legitimately going to make a game for Xbox. And they just said, "Hey, man, just here's a check.
Here's a check.
Can you make us a game?"
Oh yeah, can I have access to your servers?
Well, and he's because he's with Kojima Productions now, so he's not tied down with Konami. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So
he's his own boss.
No, one he's a cool guy too. If you've ever seen like interviews with him or read through his history, but I'm very excited that he is going to put a game on Xbox.
Spicy. How about yourself? A game that stood out to you, not Starfield.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this sort of. Okay. And I'm going to start off with saying my actual thoughts on the showcase, because you never went to me at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. I just summarized it.
Okay. I thought it was one of my favorites ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you agree? Yeah.
I don't like fluff, and it was just games.
Yeah, I thought they did
like
a really good job.
15-second interlude of someone talking, then games.
Yeah.
That's
and the only reason they were talking was to introduce the next game.
The next game, yeah. That is my perfect scenario for an E3 showcase or whatever. I thought it was one of my favorite ones. What I thought was super cool, David. So this is kind of going to lump a couple games together.
Okay.
It wasn't until Diablo 4 that I realized Overwatch games are being showcased here, or not Overwatch. Blizzard games are being showcased.
They were, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we got to see. I'm a huge Overwatch fan. I love Overwatch. I'm a huge Diablo fan. I love Blizzard games. We got to see new Overwatch heroes be revealed in trailers. We got to see different abilities in said trailers. They announced Diablo 4 was the Necromancer for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the coolest trailers because necromancy is like my jam. That's all I ever played in Diablo 2, and I played Diablo 2
religiously.
Oh my gosh, I was telling Jordan this earlier. I don't think I've bought a game as many times as I've bought Diablo, because back in the day when you played it on PC, as kids, we would lose the CDs and the CD keys.
Yeah.
And you'd have to reinstall it. And I would just ride my bicycle right back up to Target and rebuy it for $20. That and StarCraft, because they had like the battle chest and stuff like that. Anyways, seeing that Necromancer. And what's cool is we didn't know it was Diablo until the end. Jordan, you want to give your thoughts on it? Because you were mentioning like how oh my gosh, I think they actually ripped off Diablo.
Oh yeah, so I didn't because I was in my mind I was in a party watching this, right, and I go is this Diablo, and then in my head I was like no, it can't be. That makes no sense. It's not BlizzCon. You know,
I know,
it's
right? Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And then he did the blood spell, and it like did those green flames, and I was like, wow, man, they're like really taking that art style, but that's okay because that's like, I mean, that green flame was very like Blizzard art style, you know?
Yeah. It's like totally ripping off.
Anyway, so yeah, he does all this stuff, and he gets to the end, and he goes, and you'll be the necromancer, and I was like, oh, okay. We're getting a necromancer game, and then it was,
That's what I thought.
and then it was because I was in my head for some reason. It's just I understand that. Oh, it's probably because of the deal that's going on, right? It's what $65 billion gets you.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm thinking like, no, it's not BlizzCon. They're not, you know,
They can't do
it doesn't
Diablo.
make
It's
any
not
sense.
BlizzCon.
and then they already have a super good relationship with Rod Ferguson, who is one of the heads of Diablo because he used to be on the Gears of War team.
Yeah.
So and then he comes on and goes, hey, you guys want to see Diablo on Series X?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we were
Yes,
all
I do.
discussing like, is this going to be on Xbox? You know, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then they said, let's see some Series X gameplay. It's like, I'm salivating at this point.
Yeah, it was
Super awesome that we're seeing Blizzard games showcased here. But that's what I wanted to say. My answer is seeing the Blizzard games showcase on the Xbox stage.
Yeah, that
I
was
thought
exciting.
that was
So
pretty awesome.
Psychotic actually wrote in and has a question there. He says, what's up, bros? That was an amazing showcase. It had all it and a bag of chips in his opinion. My question is actually not about the showcase, but the hesitation with Diablo 4 with its content. Blizzard is hiring a stuff guy for its in-game shop, which means microtransactions. Is this smart if it is cosmetic only, or does this already bode ill for the game?
I literally had this conversation earlier. So basically, they've already fooled me twice. So Diablo 3 had pretty bad monetization towards the beginning with the auction house. It was you paid for better. It was pay to win, right?
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal, although I was expecting monetization,
Let's pull up Diablo.
they as now that I knew it was pay to win, but now that people have gotten to end game and we've seen how badly it is pay to win.
Have you gotten there? Have you experienced?
No, I'm playing as a free to play player.
Okay,
because I just want the story. I just want to get the story. But yeah, it is 100%. It's bad. Like it's really bad, the monetization on it. So I'm like, okay, they've done it twice, and the kicker is they tweeted. So Rod Ferguson and one of the other heads, and I don't know if we can pull up the tweets. I should have pulled them up before, but they tweeted, and their words. It was definitely from the PR department,
Sure.
right? You know. And it was basically like, you know, again, paraphrasing, I can pull up the tweet, but it was basically like, hey, these games are designed for console and PC players, and the monetization is designed for those players with customization items or whatever. And I was like, okay, why did it take you 3 sentences to say that? And why don't you just say only customization? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Diablo
Only
4.
cosmetics.
Only
right?
cosmetics. Sorry, only cosmetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they didn't say only cosmetics. They said it's designed for cosmetics, which means literally nothing. So that T-shirt was designed to be worn.
It was
but you could.
It was a
bad
very.
example. But
So are you worried?
I am not going to. They've gotten me with the 2 previous games, right?
He's been burned.
Twice.
Spicy.
Right?
Spicy. You were saying, sorry.
You know.
Oh no! It was a very diplomatic 3-sentence way to say,
Maybe.
sort of, when they could have just said, the only monetization is for cosmetics.
Yeah.
That's what they
didn't-
should have said, but they did not, and it was left very ambiguously. So it's like, okay, you know, like we don't want that on our console. We get that Diablo Immortal, it's kind of a big meme right now.
Okay,
because it was a mobile game.
Can I read you the tweet?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the tweet from Rod Ferguson, and then another higher-up head, I forget his name, tweeted it too. They said, quote, "To be clear, D4 is a full-price game built for PC, PlayStation, Xbox audiences. We are committed to delivering an incredible breadth of content after launch for years to come, anchored around optional cosmetics, items, and full story-driven expansions. More details soon. Necroblog tomorrow." End quote. This part right here. Anchored around optional cosmetic items. Anchored around does not mean Oh, you know what I mean? It's a very
Anchored.
So anchor means that. Wait, are you paying for Diablo? You're not paying for it.
yeah, it's a full price game.
But so that's what's confusing.
It's kind of ambiguous.
A full price game shouldn't be anchored around optional cosmetics. Fortnite is anchored around optional cosmetics because that's how that game makes money.
Yes.
That's
But
what
I'm
to
just
me
saying.
that's what anchor means. So like
but see what what our concern is
Why didn't you just
It's
say it's
not-
only cosmetics?
we can't reference this and say, see, you said that it was supposed to be this way because they're giving
Yeah, you're
themselves
right.
a little
That
bit
is-
of room.
Yeah, you're right. That is a very
It's very
that's not a he didn't just sit down and respond to someone.
no. Someone wrote that and they said tweet this.
The legal team wrote that.
yeah. So I'm just look. Is it going to be pay to win? I don't know. I hope not. People are going to say no. It's designed for console players. That means nothing. That literally means nothing. That does not mean it's not pay to win.
It would have been nice to just say there is no pay to win in this game. It's purely cosmetics. That would have been.
I think
nice
that's where I
thing
was
to
going
say.
with your T-shirt comment. A T-shirt is designed to be worn, but it can also be used as a towel. You know what I mean? I'm saying, this is designed for cosmetics, but can also be used for gear.
With a little bit of modification, you can make it a bra.
That's funny.
Well, and if you say like anchored around cosmetics, like this is a really cool item that also gives you a speed boost, or it's just I've been duped twice, and actually I've been
Dupe me
duped.
twice.
I've been
Doopy
I've been
doopy
duped a
doo.
lot by Blizzard in the past, and you can say like, oh no, Microsoft's on board. This is well developed before Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't even have the purchase yet, right? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
still going through. So I hope it's not pay to win. I'm okay with cosmetics in the shops. It's not a big deal to me. It is what it is. It's there, right? I can live with that. I'm just, just a little
been
skeptical. Just a little skeptical. Other than that, I think the gameplay art style looks solid on Diablo 4. Looks really good. I like what they're doing with it.
Yeah. Another game that stood out to me, surprisingly, was High on Life.
The Rick
High
and
on
Morty
Life
game.
is the Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
narrator
that
one.
would look awesome.
And I think
man.
it's just a really cool concept. If we could pull that one up, and it made me chuckle. It made me laugh. I like the concept. So humans are drugs to aliens, basically. And you're going around trying to save both humans, but also I forget the name they use, but guns. You're essentially trying to save guns. Guns are alive, and they talk to you.
And I love that
as you're
it's
going
Morty's
through.
voice.
Yeah, and it made me laugh more than once during that trailer, and it looks like an interesting concept. Now it might suck. It might completely suck. I have no idea. But it's just such an interesting concept to me. And the one that made me laugh, the gun that made me laugh was where there's like little pods in him, and he's like, "Those are my babies. They don't last long, but don't worry, I can make more." It just made me laugh. I think it's an interesting concept. It looks zany and crazy and fun, and I
Got
found
that
it
Rick
really
and Morty
interesting.
humor.
Found it really, really interesting. Super Shocker dropped a super chat and says, "Guys, even the Necromancer needs to eat, so they got to make money somehow."
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Hey, so we're not talking about them making money, where the necromancer does have to eat. We're talking about mixing money
And power.
in the game.
Which I guess mixed really well together.
There's
most
my
of the time.
favorite. Oh, that's not my favorite gun. My favorite gun here is
Pay to win.
So we're watching High on Life, and they're going through all the different guns. That one. He's like, "Those are my babies, but don't worry, I can make more." And then the knife
funny.
also made me laugh too when he comes on screen. This game just looks fun, zany. It looks interesting. It's an interesting concept, in my opinion. Like the knife. Look at the knife. It's so funny. And he stabs him. It's
Like, I need stab in
the eye. Oh, it's so good. That one stood out to me. Jordan, any other that really stood out to you?
I'm excited for the Persona 5s coming over to Xbox. A lot of
First time
good
we're getting those.
Japanese announcements.
Yeah,
the
Japan.
Hideo Kojima and the Persona 5s coming, I think, in October-ish. Or Persona 5s, the Persona 3, 4, and 5. Can I say one thing I was
Yes.
kind of disappointed in? It wasn't a huge deal, but I was just a little sad. There was you can argue that Persona's a heavy hitter, for Xbox, but with the delay of Starfield, I really thought they were going to slide something in for that AAA holiday season.
Slide that in there.
I thought it was going to be maybe Avowed or something like that. So I was a little bummed out that we don't have like a big AAA Microsoft game. I mean, we got some third party stuff, and like I said, you can argue the Persona is a big one, which it is, but none of that first party AAA for this holiday season was a little bit of a bummer. But
Yeah, I could see that.
But the first half of next year is going to be stacked.
Stacked
Theoretically.
hard.
Yeah, if things don't get delayed.
And hopefully in 3 weeks they don't say everything's delayed again.
Yeah, in fact, we did get a question about that. How do we think they should stack next year?
Like release times?
Yeah, from Rose City Gamer. Rose City Gamer writes in and says, awesome Xbox game showcase, Game Pass show. 2022 looks good, but nothing jaw-dropping. 2023 is going to be mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited for Starfield and Forza Motorsport. How do the bros think Microsoft should release their 2023 lineup staggered? Or, as it seems now, everything in first half of 2023? And does it matter if everything is on Game Pass anyways?
Give me a couple weeks in between games.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I think the Microsoft titles like a Forza and Starfield are going to be staggered just fine.
Like 1 month.
The third party ones like Diablo, I don't know when that's going to come out.
Wait,
a little
Diablo's not third party, bitch.
Well, it's second and a half party right now.
Yeah,
You're on one today, dude.
It's second and a half party right now, and when the deal comes through, although I was hoping. I mean, maybe we'll get this announcement later. How awesome would it be Diablo 4 Game Pass before like day one?
Oh,
if they can strike, because they were announcing all their Game Pass ones, and they didn't specifically announce a Game Pass for Diablo 4, but that would have been a huge announcement for Game Pass. Still will be if they announce it later.
Oh, I mean, it's eventually coming. I don't know how soon.
Yeah, but
it's
if
just
you
when
get
is
that
the
day
question.
one, that would be a huge thing for Microsoft.
Yeah,
So.
Spicy, give me another game that stood out to you that you were like, yes.
Oh, they brought it up in the question. Forza Motorsport. We kind of predicted a Motorsport was coming soon.
I like that they didn't call it Eternal or Infinite or anything. They just said Forza Motorsport.
They're taking the
Thank
Modern
you.
Warfare route.
I'm going to make a bold statement here.
Give it to me.
When it's released, it will be the greatest looking game that has ever been made.
Oh, wow, that's big. It did.
They've
look
done it
beautiful.
every time.
And I watched that bad boy on 4K. It did look beautiful.
It did.
Probably up until Starfield's release, because dang, that when they looked at the
game.
watch,
Yeah.
I was like, that's the most high def watch I've ever seen. In the screen.
And it unlocked the door.
No, Forza Motorsport has always been one of the greatest looking games per generation of hardware.
Agreed.
And I think we are just going to be blown away. We were watching it from a Twitch stream, which is not the best stream. Well, it's not the best fidelity.
Well, it's compressed too, isn't
It's
it?
very compressed. We're dealing with a lot of bit rate limitations, and it still looked ridiculously good. I'm gonna say it. That's when that comes out. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I owe you a cookie.
No, I think they spent their time going through the physics updates, the technological updates, the weather updates, and that the ground heats up that then affects your steering and your tires and everything like that. Super cool. Very, very excited for Forza.
I can't wait. I mean, I'm watching that trailer. When Forza, when Motorsport hits, it's just like, oh, finally. And they show like how they started off as a crash. And then I'm like, oh yeah, DNF. That guy did that guy. There's Jordan crashing on turn one.
Well, that's why Jordan. I appreciated they showed like the cones and stuff and like the side scenery of the track, because that's where I usually spend a lot of my time.
If people haven't played a Motorsport yet, maybe you've only played like Forza Horizon. This is the simulator version of Horizon. It is not arcade. There is damage to the vehicles, which they mention in the showcase, that the scratches and the dents and all that stuff are actually dynamic from what they hit, the angles and everything. It's actual. Some games just render damages that make no sense, but it's actually impact damage reflected in your gameplay, which I think is kind of amazing.
Well,
let's pull it up on screen.
Didn't they say the
bottom row 4 over?
They were talking about ray tracing too. All the engines are ray traced.
Yeah, ray trace
because of all the lighting, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring us into the pit stop. and they show the reflection of the engine.
Yeah, that's all the ray tracing on the
And,
engines.
Yeah,
and stuff.
and
yeah.
it looked so good, really, really good. But
Oh, this is the official. This is the gameplay demo. Let's slow this down.
and they started this pan shot that we see where they show water, and right there alone, you're like, wow, that looks really good. And then you hear these cars go by,
Zoom.
and then it zooms in, and it stays on one camera. Now this is all in engine, so this isn't in game. But regardless, they're doing it to highlight improvements that they've made, how better everything is. When they show the crash, Spicy, and they show like individual scratches on the side of your car, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, I guarantee you, and I guarantee you, this is going to be optimized for the Series X hardware too. So it's going to be.
Yeah,
They did say built from the ground up.
Yeah, see, and this is what I wonder: is this going to be one of the first games we get that will cut off the Xbox One X? And stuff, you know what I mean?
Same question.
That's an interesting question.
I think I've seen something that said it wouldn't.
I mean, I guess
but
you
I'm
can
not
always
sure.
down. They'll always.
Yeah, you can
always,
make it look like 5 pixels.
Yeah, I mean, you can always downgrade.
I
So-
mean, Frogger at that point.
So Jordan, was it this trailer that caused you to go get a steering wheel today?
No,
He
I was
purchased
actually
a
thinking
steering
about
wheel.
that for a couple days.
Oh,
It was
okay.
actually Top Gun Maverick that made me want to go get a steering wheel. Funny enough.
Oh, yeah, big news. Jordan, announce your new purchase today.
Your new
Oh, I
purchase?
bought a steering wheel
He bought a steering wheel to
Yeah.
play video games on.
with force
Yeah.
feedback.
It looks good.
No, I was. I
you got
was.
a decent one too, not a cheap one.
So I've seen Top Gun twice now, and I went and played the Flight Simulator DLC. And I was also telling Mark, do you know how hard it is to land on a freaking aircraft carrier? It's really hard. But it was really fun. And I have the Thrustmaster for Flight Simulator. And as I was doing that, I was like, hey, peripherals would be really fun in a racing game.
Yeah.
So I went and got one.
So why not get one?
Yeah,
Why not
I
get
mean,
some?
There's very
So
few
have you
games
sampled
that.
it? Have you sampled it yet with anything?
Yeah, with Forza Horizon 5. And then Dirt 5 is installing. And then, of course,
beautiful.
Motorsport
Oh, motorsport's gonna
when
be
it
where
comes
it's
out.
at.
Yeah, can you drive a plane with the steering wheel?
No,
That's a good
no.
question.
It wasn't the plane. It was just the connection. Like, you know what? This is fun having there's only there's not very many games where peripherals are fun, right? Other than the controller. In these two games, racing games and flying games,
Yeah.
they are fun.
It was at this point in the show that I thought, is that Forzathon?
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought, oh, this must be their showcase events.
Yes, this is Forzathon right here. What's happening here? And we cannot mention Forza Motorsport without mentioning, for the first time in 2 years, Hot Wheels, baby. It's back on Horizon 5. That's a big announcement. That
Yeah, because
can't be
when did we
overlooked.
see it last? Horizon 4
3.
towards the... Was it 3?
Three. It wasn't on 4.
4 was Lego.
4
That's
was
right.
Lego,
Yeah,
which
4
kind
was
of
Lego.
sucked. Lego was disappointing. I'm just
I-
going to say it.
I
Everyone
don't
was
know.
thinking it.
Yeah.
Everyone was thinking it. Everyone was
I mean, I guess you're right.
I think either David's really hungry right now, or because you're being very blatantly honest with everything.
Oh
you
yeah,
say.
no, it's no. I mean, it was. I
Started off the
expected
show
more.
with people are stupid on the internet.
They are all true statements that I've made so far today. No, the Hot Wheels DLC has been the best, most fun DLC in a Forza Horizon game of all time.
Yeah.
Overstatement? I don't think so. Here's that crash.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and that comes out, the Hot Wheels DLC is July 19th, so just a month.
Just a month.
Yeah.
Just the month, baby.
We're watching right now the damage on the vehicle, and they're talking about how the engine actually includes real
Yeah,
effectual
so-
damage. I don't know how you would.
So the spokes on the rims, even look at, are all scratched up.
Super cool. And yeah, I think I finished 2 out of 5 races in this game because when you play the long run, you have to be so careful.
This game
it's
makes you good at racing.
Oh, it's awesome.
It makes you
Yeah.
good. It's good. It's very good.
I'm excited. I haven't had a motorsport in a long time.
Can we pull up a game that also stood out to me, and that was the No Man's Sky 2.0 game that was shown off there.
No, David. It is No Man's Sky with an unlimited budget.
Yeah, with an unlimited budget.
That's what we're.
The Stardew Valley of No Man's Sky, and that is Lightyear Frontier, which just seems awesome.
Do you know what's funny? I thought you were talking about Starfield for a sec.
Oh no,
Because
no.
that's No Man's Sky with an unlimited budget.
That is No Man's Sky with an unlimited budget. But this
Here,
is
let me pull that
Yeah,
up.
Lightyear Frontier has a very Stardew Valley No Man's Sky combination feel,
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
and I don't know if they can pull this off because No Man's Sky is it's a 9 out of 10 game, a 9.9 out of 10 game. It's very, very good, and they've had years to develop it. So I don't know if this is going to be that, or if you could even compete with that, or if it's even trying to be that.
I don't think it's even trying to be that. I think this is mech warrior farming.
Mech warrior farming, but you
Yeah.
build a house and stuff, then it shows like you can get out of your mech.
Yeah. But why
Man,
would
that
you?
mech
The
is packing. Did you see
Yeah,
like
I
the
love
cup
when he's-
Look at
size?
the weapons
Do you see
on
when
it.
he's crashing and the windshield wipers are going? That makes me
Oh,
laugh.
look at his cup size, man. This guy.
And look at
He's
those
packing
weapons.
some heat. Well, I love heat. It's not just weapons. He like shoots seeds into the ground.
Now that's how to farm.
That's how to farm. Look, this is
He's
Yeah.
packing,
see.
David.
This looks awesome right here. I think this looks
No, this will be a fun one.
really fun.
It'll be a nice palate cleanser game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but this one stood out to me. I think this one looks very interesting as well. The other one was Flintlock. I think looked
Yeah,
good.
that one looked good. It gave me a lot of.
We saw that before, and
yeah.
we were like, I don't know about this game. They didn't show that much, but this time it was like, yes, magical alien fox pet.
Yeah, it gave me a little bit of like Assassin's Creed vibes, which is not a bad thing. I liked the third person combat. It looked really fun.
Yeah, I agree. It looks really fun. I don't know exactly what you do. Oh, apparently you're gods, so the gods have taken over the world. That's what they say at the beginning. But they're not good. They've actually caused famine and stuff.
You got the bad
so you're
ones.
fighting the gods.
Yeah,
That's what I gathered from it, anyways.
it's a tough fight.
It is a tough fight. But this scene right there in the barracks is what we were shown originally. And it was just like a CGI almost battle. This was actual gameplay. And I don't know what your animal is, but the animal is amazing. Yeah, that
Well,
part.
and
Remember, that's the part that
the
we saw
gameplay
before.
combat looks really good. Like I like it. It gives me that. It reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed combat, the newer ones. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Like it looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, you like disappear.
And you can fly
and
on your
you
fox.
become the fox and stuff. Very interesting to me. I'm going to be curious at how well this one does. What Flintlock, though. And you have all those magical powers, but you've got a flintlock.
Do you know what game I'm surprised you haven't mentioned yet, David?
Yeah.
A Plague Tale Requiem.
Plague
Yeah,
Tale Requiem
that was towards the
looks good.
beginning of the show.
Our children have grown,
Yes.
and now we're preteens or teenagers.
You're coming of age in a medieval, terrible time period
And yeah.
with rats and
and you can control the rats to swarm people.
yeah.
It just looks like better. It looks like bigger worlds, more variety, more sneaking around.
You know what I was surprised not to see because I thought it was getting close, and we now know that it's not coming in the next
12 months.
12 months.
at
So
least.
it may be a holiday game next year. But the new Hellblade, I thought that was getting pretty
Yeah.
close, but we didn't see anything there.
That's
so.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't see anything
On that at all.
Yeah, when's the release date for that? Do we not have one?
we
No.
don't have one yet.
I mean, 12 months from now is a year from now. So there's still the second half of 2022, which is probably where they're putting it, but or 2023. Sorry, but
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Spicy, Jordan the Man, what did you guys think of Cocoon?
Oh, that's the developers from Limbo,
Limbo
right?
and Inside, yeah.
Yeah, it looked really interesting. It looked like here. I'll pull it up.
I'm interested in it because of Limbo and Inside.
It looked like a little Inception thing
it's
going
it's
on there.
definitely
like you're
it's-
in a ball within a ball within a ball.
Yeah. It's definitely.
I guess those are
his
Cocoons.
art style is much lighter this time. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? 'Cause
very light.
The other two were very dark in their art style.
What I liked is if you notice whenever the character jumps on a ball or does something with the ball, it's very smooth. It's this cool. If we fast forward half
well,
through,
even Limbo and Inside were very smooth playing games.
Yeah.
What I really liked is the puzzles here. I think the puzzles look really, really fun and not overly easy, which
So it
I
looks
think
like-
a lot of puzzle games nowadays are too easy. I think they look actually fairly complex, and
Yeah,
I
so it
really
looks like the
appreciate
balls
that.
have special powers, each of them, and then
Mm-hmm.
you utilize each of those powers to do something. But
Well, and if you notice, it's not just side scroller anymore. You know
It's
what I
a
mean? Like it's a
3D
3D
platform
Yeah,
puzzler.
like it's
it's a
they're
cocoon
kind of
within a
branching
cocoon
out.
within a cocoon within a cocoon.
Cocoonception.
Cocoonception.
So, but no, I liked their previous games, and I will probably purchase or I won't purchase because it's probably coming to Game Pass.
It is.
Yeah. So
It is.
I will play this game.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Very smooth ball gameplay. For sure.
Hollow Knight, Spicy. Does that do anything for you?
The sequel.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks pretty phenomenal. Hollow Knight. Were you guys ever able to play that?
No, I never played Hollow
Very
Knight.
good. Very good. Very good game. I recommend if you're going to jump in, probably to this one. Hollow Knight's on Game Pass too. You can.
Yeah.
All the games shown today are on Game Pass.
Yeah. Hey. Did we just stop doing like Game of the Month because we could do Hollow Knight as a game of the month?
We did stop doing Game of the Month, but you could bring it back.
I want to. Hey, everybody, play Hollow Knight this month.
There's only half a month left.
There's only half a month.
Just
We'll start next month.
There's not going to be a test afterwards. You can just enjoy the game. Hollow Knight is a fantastic game. And I should pull it up just so people can see. It looks really, really good.
What is it? Hollow Knight Silk. Where is it? Silk Song. The boss fights in that game do look
fun,
really cool. They show that one boss fight where the flames come up from the ground. You dodge a guy, then the flames come up. It was just very, very smooth and skillful, and I appreciate both of those.
I can't find it. People are seeing behind the curtain. Here we go. Do you see it?
Yes, right there.
I'm blind.
Up one.
In the center, left.
Thanks,
Right
guys.
there.
I appreciate you.
Yes, we got it, everybody. Dr. Teeth Dan says Hollow Knight was hard. Yeah, I mean the fighting looks intense. Those boss fights that they show at the end here looks intense. I do say there's definitely either Ori was inspired by Hollow Knight, which I think Hollow Knight came out before.
First, actually the first Ori. No, I think Hollow Knight came first but it was around the same time period.
Yeah, because some of the stuff is very Ori, like in the movements right there. Like that's very Ori, and I'm not talking about the move itself, but the way it looks on screen when you do the move. Even the character looks a little Ori-ish.
Speaking of side scrollers, one side scroller that stood out to me that I really want to play when it comes out: The Last Case of Benedict Fox. That one looked cool.
That looked interesting.
I liked the art style. It seems like a detective type game. Like it looked really cool.
You're playing a cartoon. Here's the boss fight right here. Ooh, yeah, with those flames. That's cool. I really enjoy that. Really enjoy that.
Oh yeah. Let's do a 2-week play Hollow Knight if you guys get a chance. If not, I'm not going to test you afterwards. But.
What was it, Benedict? The last night? What was it again?
The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Benedict Fox
was one of the other side scrollers that stuck out to me because it just looked cool. It looked like a detective game. I dug the art style. You have like this kind of
I'm going to pull that up.
Demon spirit that is with you while you're going throughout your adventure. It just looks like a fun, cool game.
To me, it's like you're playing a cartoon, and that's the appeal.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's the appeal, 100%.
But no, I really liked it, and I think this is a
story-driven platformer. I would describe this.
This is another day one Game Pass.
All of them are Game Pass or day one Game Pass, which was nice to see.
Minus Diablo 4, but I hope it comes. Yeah.
Oh,
Is Overwatch Game Pass as well? Overwatch 2? I mean,
no,
it's already
I don't
free
think.
to play.
I don't
it's
think
free to play. So
on that one, they just
Game
said
Pass?
free to play. Yeah. If you fast forward to the gameplay, this is like the intro, and
sorry, yeah, okay, I'm on it.
that's the black and white part that I didn't like. There it is. Yeah, it does. Like I love.
Fun.
You know, here he looks like the character from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, he does.
He totally does.
The original.
The original 101 Dalmatians.
That's funny.
Benedict is co-star. Got his start on 101 Dalmatians.
This is his origin story.
Yeah, this is before he got Pago.
Hey, another thing I think we need to talk about that I think was kind of a big deal that kind of just got glided over: Pelicans in Flight Simulator.
Yes. Halo. It's available right now. Has anybody tried it in chat?
I have not tried it.
I have it downloaded.
But I think, can you go into space? Didn't they show going into space in the trailer?
No, see, that's where I'm confused. Because they show you in space, but you're coming to Earth, so I think you may only be able to fly on Earth.
They got us.
Also, helicopters. I'm very much excited to helicopter around like a helicopterer.
I am too. A pilot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A helicopterer.
No, the Flight Simulator announcements were really cool. And is it how? I mean, I guess no one knows how a Pelican flies, so Flight Simulator could nail it.
Yeah,
no one knows.
And it showed the inside of the cockpit right there. The inside of the cockpit of the Pelican.
That came out of nowhere, too.
Now, how do you taxi this thing out onto the runway?
Yeah, I think it just flies straight up like a Harrier.
Did Did you say how you're going to land it on the carrier? Is that what?
No. How do you taxi this thing out to the runway?
How are you going to... Because you know the DLC for Maverick, right? Or
Yeah.
for Top Gun. Are you going to be able to try to land this on an aircraft carrier?
Yeah, see, it's this scene right here. Can we go into space?
No.
That's just high altitude. No. Apparently.
No, I don't think you go into space. I think they're just showing it coming from the Halo game over to Earth for Flight Simulator. I think that's what it's showing, which they probably shouldn't have done because it confused everybody.
Blake in chat actually brings up a good point for Sea of Thieves. You can now... They had actually a lot of announcements, which the song and the trailer was super cool. But you can customize your own ship now and have it be permanent.
Yeah, big quality of life is you can set presets on your ship, so you can design a ship, save it as a preset, and then quickly get into it instead of having to design every time. You can name your ship, and hey, I bet you there's going to be some really good names out there.
Yeah.
Because as we've learned from...
as we know from the internet.
No Man's Sky,
are
there's a lot of
creative.
stuff that can beat the filter.
Yeah,
that they
filters
put.
only go so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can beat the filter.
Filters are easily gamed.
Yeah. So, yeah, but new Sea of Thieves stuffs. And in Sea of Thieves, we just had a big event where the community could vote to save Golden Sands Outposts or destroy it, and the community voted to save it.
That's cool.
So it'll be interesting to see
Sea of
kind of what they
Thieves-
do going forward with it.
You have to respect Sea of Thieves, whether you like it, whether it's your style or it's not. What they've done is special and unique, and they've done it to a lot of success. It's a successful franchise. They did a good job. If you remember, it was criticized at first. It is Xbox. It is Xbox's or Microsoft's No Man's Sky. It was heavily criticized.
I don't think it was. I mean, it wasn't that
No,
bad.
it's not.
There are
as
very
bad.
few games
True.
that were that bad.
But
I think I can count 2 of them. And
But
that's
it
one
was
of them.
heavily criticized. There's nothing to do in this game, and just supporting it month after month, week after week, year after year, it's where it's at today. And there is
I'm glad they stuck with it, and the stuff they've added is amazing. But let's not take that as a pattern. Let's release games and not have to update them over the course of years to get them to where they should be.
Amen.
Halo.
Amen.
So
I get that, but I don't think you can get away from that now that game preview and beta.
But this wasn't a game preview,
I know,
and
but
neither was Halo.
all I'm saying is that's like the trend. I agree with you, Jordan. I think it's unfortunate that that's what happens.
Hey, I like the way you said that. I agree with you, Jordan. That was nice. It was like a song.
Jordan.
It was very siggy.
I agree with you, Jordan. But I mean, like, games are now being released as betas,
Yeah,
and that's just the world we live in.
I would.
Unfortunately,
I'd appreciate it if games would not
do that. Yeah. I know. It's really, really refreshing when a game releases and it's completely polished and it's a
ready to
full
go.
release. And
Another one that just had an update this week. Battlefield. They had their season 1 update, which is great. They've added a lot of stuff. There's still a long way to go, but I don't need to be your
a hot mess.
I don't need to be your beta tester. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Like it's just
I know what you mean. We have some names of ships in chat. Psychotic says the Jilted Lover.
The Jilted Lover.
That's a good name
That
for
is
a
a good
ship.
name.
Jeter
Just Jilted is a good name.
Jeter Pinklage says USS Tummy Sticks. Also a
Jordan,
solid
how
name.
about name my ship Body Banger 69?
Yeah, that's what I named your planet. Which,
Yeah,
by the
you did.
way,
you took a dump on my home base.
which by the way,
You totally took a dump on it.
100% gets past the profanity filter. Didn't know that would,
It's permanently in the record books on the No Man's Sky servers that my planet is now Body Banger 69, named by Jord the Man.
It's true. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That I really didn't think the filter would take it, but it did.
I like how you tested it on my game.
That is funny. I can't say that's not funny because it is
Whoops.
funny.
He's the
I have
alpha.
one more game before we get to Starfield that I want to discuss is this game Ara Stories Untold. This is a PC only game. It is a turn-based strategy game. It looks like they're trying to compete with Civilization. We didn't get any gameplay.
Oh yeah, I totally thought it was.
I thought it was Civilization.
I thought
at
it
first.
was
I was like,
Civ,
is this
yeah.
Civ 7?
Yeah, and so that's my question.
How do you
Is
spell
there?
this?
It's A-R-A.
A-R-A. Okay, I think I found it. No. Okay, keep talking. Sorry, I don't want
you're
to.
good.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
It is. So for those of you that didn't watch it or maybe you don't remember, it went through just the story and it just showed. So it didn't show gameplay, which is actually a legitimate complaint here. They said this would only be gameplay. I didn't see any gameplay here. And it's from the creators that revolutionized the genre. So are these from X Civilization?
Let me check. It's
Who
a
is the
development
creators?
studio, Oxide, but
Yeah.
it probably has a couple guys from.
Yeah. Anyways, they go through time is what it looks like in different eras, similar to what you do in Civilization, and some of those, and it looks like some of them merge so that you have kind of old school civilizations with new civilizations mixed together. I don't know though. It just had a Civilization feel, and my question is, does Xbox need that in their library? And if so,
Let me answer you. Yes.
can they compete with Civilization?
No.
Yeah, the lead.
Yes and no.
Well, the lead developers of Oxide Games are former developers from Firaxis, which is
Yes.
Civ. Yeah.
So what do you think, Spicy? So you think they do need this in their library?
Yeah, I love these games.
This is the PC Game Pass too. Like this, like you said, they've injected life in there.
Yeah.
Into the PC Game Pass.
I personally believe, this is my personal belief
Give it
here,
to me.
that Civilization games come out too far and in between.
Yeah.
And this is a chance for me to get my fix of a Civilization style game in between Civilization games. Like, kind of like how Assassin's Creed is kind of a Grand Theft Auto interlude in a certain kind of way, or Watch Dogs was for me, or any of those open world,
Yeah.
the world is alive, quests, all that stuff.
So
The big hitters for me are the Rockstar games, but those tie me over until Rockstar comes out with.
You know what?
these
You know what game they made?
But see, nothing comes close to Grand Theft Auto. I think Witcher 3 we've argued came close, but
well, what if this does? Boom. That's big boy. That's big boy talk.
what was your question, Jordan?
They
What you said? You know what they made? Oh, Ashes of Singularity.
Ashes of the Singularity. Yeah.
Okay, we're talking. I mean, Ashes. For those of you that have not played Ashes of Singularity, it's very good. Very good. It takes a different approach. So in Ashes of Singularity, they changed the economy in a way that lets you focus on 100% strategy. Okay, 99% strategy, but economy still matters. They did a very good job. Ashes of Singularity. Okay, these are big hitters.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, for Axis Games, I mean, you're talking. They did. I mean, these guys know what they're doing
They have a good pedigree
in this genre. I should
Yeah.
say.
This is not Microsoft Studios, is it? Is this a first
no,
party title?
No, this is.
I think this is Microsoft
no,
Studios.
No, it's not. It's
Go back to the beginning. Does it say Microsoft Studios?
Okay, David. Let's bet. You guys want to do a burger?
Yes.
No, I don't want to. No.
Yeah,
I'm not
no, but-
confident. This is just a question.
It's coming from Game Pass.
I'm
That's
not
where
saying
you
it
it's coming
is.
to Game Pass.
I am just questioning if it is.
It is not.
And I don't believe Jordan.
PC Game Pass. Oh,
Xbox
Xbox
Game
Game
Studios.
Studios presents.
Told
Oh wow,
you.
you should have bet a burger.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you should have bet a burger. You would have won that one. Yeah. You should.
I've
You
taken
should have taken that bet.
I didn't want to deprive your children of food.
See, David, that's lack of confidence
Yeah,
coming from you over on that
see,
side
you
of
have
the
to
room.
exude. I didn't know if I was right, but I
Yeah,
had the
because I
confidence
remember
to
when
know
I
that
saw
was
it.
right.
That's why I asked, does Microsoft need this?
It's
because it's a Microsoft
It's all about
Studios.
attitude, David.
it's like
and you didn't have any.
it's like George Costanza. If you believe it's the truth,
It's
the
not a
truth.
lie.
Yeah, it's if you believe
you
it's not
believe
a-
it,
it's not a lie.
Yeah.
I think this was interesting. I'm curious to see more. So this is coming out in the next year. We'll see what they're able to do with this. I mean, turn-based strategy, civilization style games, all three of us really enjoy.
Yeah.
So it will be fun. to
It's
see.
true. I know that they announced that going forward, a lot of the all the trailers will have gameplay. Did they announce that after this or before?
No, it was at the very beginning. This one had no gameplay.
That's fascinating.
Maybe
There
this,
was-
guys, this might be gameplay.
This might be gameplay. In fairness,
Like we really actually don't know at this
maybe
point.
it's 3D open world turn-based strategy.
Maybe it's a camera simulator that goes through different scenes of history. That's interesting because they did announce that.
Yeah, there was a few other games that they didn't show gameplay either. And
I kind of want to go back now. How confident are you that they actually said
Well, they
that?
probably
I'm very-
said it in a way
It's-
that the
you're-
marketing
I'm very confident in that one.
But they probably said it in a way that can be,
wanna put a burger
where they,
on the line?
where they lead you to believe it's all gameplay.
Yes, I
but
would like
actually,
to put a
there's
burger
a,
on the line on that one.
Okay.
Let's go to the beginning. They say it right up front.
Well,
It's when Sarah Bond is talking.
I mean, this is a trailer. Do you want me to actually on this show?
Yeah,
go?
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it
I'll
live
do it. Okay.
right now.
All right.
the people need to know.
The people,
need to know.
They're wondering. So if you go to the actual conference, not the ASL one, it's up very top row, all the way over to the right.
Okay.
And now just hover to Sarah
Bond said it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. After
She
the
comes on
opening.
after the Redfall trailer, which Redfall does look good, guys.
Yeah. No, it's after there's like 3 trailers and then she gets on.
Oh.
Once
Oh my
again.
gosh, this is so hard.
No, guys, there's like 3 trailers and then she gets on.
There she is.
There she is.
All right.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to
let's
turn this on.
Turn the volume.
All right. We're going to listen to this, everybody.
With who you want, where you
Here we
want,
go.
and when you want.
Who, what, when, where.
Today, we're going to show you more than 30 titles that are coming to Game Pass. And that is on top of the hundreds of titles coming to members over the next year.
She's a nice voice.
She really does.
Our next announcement shows that the benefits of Game Pass go well beyond the console.
Okay.
We are thrilled to be working with
We
an
did miss the
iconic
first one.
team
Yeah, we
that has
gotta go
built
to
some
the
of the
first
most
part.
played, most watched franchises in the entire world. And now,
My wife really
all
liked her
Game
dress.
Pass
Here we go.
members will be able to
Oh, no.
unlock the benefits for these incredible games on PC and mobile.
No, okay,
Yeah,
we
go-
gotta
go to the very
Oh my
beginning, go to the
gosh,
very
we're
beginning.
doing this on the
We
show.
missed the beginning.
Okay, right. No, back.
You're going to see more.
Further.
There.
Yeah,
Oh,
right,
that was
right
it. That
after
was it. That was
highlight.
it. That was it.
There it is. Okay.
Oh
here
my
it comes,
gosh.
here it comes.
Okay.
We're
Sorry,
on High on
everyone.
Life, everybody. Sorry, this is High on Life right here.
Okay.
Well, okay. this thing just cracked me up.
Okay,
So
here
good.
we go.
All
Here we
right,
go.
Here's Sarah
Everybody.
Bond, everybody.
All right,
Does-
here,
does-
I'm gonna
is
switch
X1
this on.
correct? All gameplay today is what she said.
Okay. Here we go.
She probably said most gameplay. That's gonna
Or a
piss me
lot
off.
of gameplay.
You are really
Welcome to
confident.
the
now.
Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. Today, we're doing something we've never done before. For the first time ever, our entire show is focused on games you can play over the next 12 months.
Okay.
You're going to see more gameplay than we've ever had in a show. Industry-defining racing experience.
And he lost his
we
burger.
got ya.
Titles.
You were really
And
confident this time,
my
though.
favorite-
You were really confident.
False sense of confidence for crushing Jordan
Yeah.
earlier.
My wife really liked her dress. She was watching the showcase with me.
Oh, yeah, she's
and
like,
she
"Yeah,
was
that's a
like,
nice
"Yeah, it's a
dress."
nice dress."
Yes.
No.
That's what $1 million.
My son watched with me, actually.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Did he like the dress?
He loved this. He loved it.
Okay, and then let's get to the highlight of the show, and that is Starfield. For me, guys, Starfield blew me away. Skyrim in space is not actually an accurate, I think, description of it at all. I think the best space game ever made is what they're hyping it up to be, whether or not it turns out to be that. Here's what I like over a No Man's Sky, because you all know how much I enjoy No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 systems or 1,000 planets. Over 1,000 planets.
1,000 planets.
Yes.
Not procedurally generated, so handcrafted 1,000 planets to fully explore. I love that. I think we are going to be able to just absolutely lose yourself in this game. They show off the player housing, quote unquote, right up front. Your bases on different planets that you can have. You could. That's
You can-
that's a
you can
whole
hire-
game.
you can hire
You
people
can
to
hire
maintain
people
them.
inside your bases. Your ship customization. You can hire people and get a crew in your ship. Those are going to be games inside and of themselves, right? In and of themselves. I mean, think
Well-
about the base building in Fallout 4 once you got to there. How much time did you spend doing that? And this is that
Well,
times 1,000.
I kind of was forced to because that Minuteman guy kept bothering me about
But then you like never left. Like 2 hours later. you're like,
Although I did spend a whole bunch of time making like everyone wear underwear because you could control what people wear, and I had them all working. Like I had all my turrets were facing inward at them.
You weren't worried about the outside. You were worried about people escaping.
Yes, I made myself a legitimate business.
I just think so. They start out Starfield where you're in basically a tutorial zone, and they show first person, which I think first person looks the best because they also then go out to third person to show that you can indeed go out to third person. I think first person is going to be where it's at in this game. They show animals right at the beginning, some alien life forms, looks like giant bugs that look really, really creepy, and they react to you pointing your gun at them. Then they take you into what looks like your main hub of a city. Did they call it Atlantis?
Atlantis City. Yeah.
Atlantis City, and it looked bustling. It looked cool. It looked
Yeah, the facial animations
Phil?
are much
Phil?
better for a Bethesda game this time around.
Yes.
You can tell they take a lot of inspiration from the Fallout series, like with the gunplay.
Yeah.
There is a lot of perks. I mean, obviously they're taking inspiration from all their games. But see, that's the planet thing I was excited about and also worried about because I think it can be a double-edged sword for the game. So yes, there's 1,000 planets. If 990 of those planets suck, who cares if there's 1,000? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think that though. I think if they said like, and they're procedurally generated.
Yeah.
I think that means
and
that to me is code for we don't have to do anything. They just create themselves.
Well, I mean, it was a little bit more complicated than that.
These
but-
are
Is it though, Jordan?
Yeah.
That's procedurally generated means
we press enter and the computer does it for us. It's great. Like, why did we ever buy that was a good thing?
well,
That's not-
because in No Man's Sky, it's a
I
good thing.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, but
replayable-
it's just randomization is all that it is.
true.
And that may be what
I would rather
Because did they say the word handcrafted?
no, but I'm just assuming.
So it technically could be.
But I would rather have handcrafted planets.
No, I'm just.
okay, for sure, but you can only have a limited amount of handcrafted.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but-
maybe that's why it got delayed. Only 950 planets were ready.
But procedurally generated is stupid because
Hold up.
I don't care if there's billions of planets. I'm not going to go to all of them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, I think procedurally generated has its place.
correct. Jordan is right here. You are wrong.
Like in No
David.
Man's Sky,
And I'm
you
confident
literally
in saying
just
that.
praised No
Okay.
Man's Sky.
I'm confident in saying
The game
David,
is built
you're
on
stupid
being
right now.
the game is built on being procedurally generated.
I'm not saying that there's no place for procedurally generated. I'm saying it's this buzzword that developers say as if it's impressive. When in reality, it's like
Who is this guy?
they're not doing work. Guys, and our solar system is procedurally generated, and the crowd goes wild.
No,
that
you're
means that
making that up.
that
Show
means
me
that they-
what.
That means that they didn't work on it.
What conference did that happen where the crowd goes
No,
wild?
No Man's Sky.
And the crowd went wild when they
I
said
believe they did.
procedurally.
They-
I
they
remember
did
them
for a little-
flashing to
they
the
did.
crowd
Making this
and
up.
people being like, "Woo!"
No, David,
Anyway.
procedurally generated means replayability.
Yeah.
That's what that word
Like,
means.
for
to me.
example,
it's a buzzword.
No,
For example,
no, no.
Diablo
No, no.
dungeons are procedurally generated.
Yes.
They use a
That's-
certain tile set, but then it's randomized,
That's
so it's different
different than planets.
than the entire universe.
Yes.
I want every single planet handcrafted. Okay.
I want handcrafted planets where thought and care. For instance,
I don't want this lazy developer crap that I keep getting.
don't give me that bullshit. No. For instance, they had a guy just dedicated to pots in Skyrim. I want a guy just dedicated to planets.
Well, but there's also a guy dedicated to the procedurally generation
Of those pots.
engine.
Yeah, and he just presses enter.
Well, after
the
he
code's been
makes
created.
it,
I totally guarantee he pressed. That's all he did. He pressed enter and went golfing.
He was like, oh, okay. But why? Why? I think having 1,000 is doable. I think having 1,000 is that means something that makes sense. Where you can put in special hidden Easter eggs. You can put in special cities that you want to have, and everything can serve a purpose. Why have a billion planets? Like, well, whoop-de do.
yeah, okay. Going on to that, 1,000. They went through and they talked about there's going to be Goldilocks planets with like lots of stuff. There's going to be planets that are they did specifically say there's going to be planets just for mining, and that's fine. I get that. I get that. You're in a universe for story purposes and to help you be immersed in this universe, you do have to have just a barren planet that all you do is explore and find.
Of course.
But I don't want the majority of there's no point to have 1,000 planets if 500 of them are nothing.
I agree
know
with
what
you.
What I now the other side, because
But
that's
to
why
me, okay.
that's why I think it's a double-edged sword. Because the other side of this, I think, whoa, okay, hold on. What if this happens? What if I go to a random planet, like planet 75?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's mining material here I need for my ship that I can customize. And then I meet a guy who then sends me on this amazing side quest. That's cool. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
that's, I think, what's gonna happen.
Is that going to happen?
Yes,
That's what I'm wondering.
Planets are just going to be cities, and then there's going to be cities within the cities.
Yeah, but not every planet's going to be a fully populated planet.
Of course. Some will be, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's superior than procedurally generated planets.
Hold up,
I really
David.
do.
So I'll bet you.
I'm happy they didn't use the word procedurally generated words.
Okay.
Watch this whole game be procedurally generated.
David, I can guarantee you that many developers use a procedurally generated backbone of a map that they build onto.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, copy and paste
But
is
that's-
But you're
very...
that's different
very-
than just saying we have a procedurally
Yeah, all these-
and then
and-
the crowd going wild. That's what really that's what really pinches your
And everybody, this entire universe is procedurally generated.
And then,
over 1 billion planets. Well,
everybody's taking their shirts off,
and
spinning it around.
and I was one of those people.
It's like a rock star concert.
And I was one of those people until you dive into a No Man's Sky, which is very good. I mean, it's a 9 out of 9. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. But what I'm saying is it breaks a little bit of the immersion because you realize that
Because the
this,
What
universe
they do?
is-
Who gives a crap that I'm here?
this planet is just random here. It's not.
Well, I
there's
mean,
not,
That's
Hey,
kind of how it is.
I'm sure some people thought Jupiter was random.
and that is definitely procedurally generated.
but it's random. No, but it's random to the story. What planet
There's
you go
no guy
to?
on that planet that's going to give me a quest. I can guarantee you that.
Okay. No, the handcrafted planet is the way to go. That's all I want.
Well,
to say.
yeah, but you just
and
you
that's
just
that's the assumption
you
that
just
they
made
gave
a
me
you
here.
just made a blanket statement of procedurally generation sucks. When like in
No, I'm
Diablo,
not saying
when in Diablo it's a good thing, right?
I'm
of the
not
dungeon,
saying
you
that
know?
it sucks. I'm saying that it's overused, and we're thinking like, oh yeah, look,
It's a marketing
This is
buzzword.
amazing. In reality, it's just enter. It's laziness.
It's compile.
Now I
Go to
know
lunch.
coming up
No,
with the
but
code
David, yeah,
and
that's the thing
everything
that they're
and the
doing.
algorithm is crazy work. But I would rather have a handcrafted dungeon than a randomly generated dungeon.
I mean, it depends on the
True
game.
or false? World of Warcraft's dungeons are superior to Diablo's dungeons. Yes.
I mean, it really depends on the dungeon.
And what was randomly procedurally generated in
Well,
Diablo's
because
dungeon?
random, like Mark said, the random dungeons give you replayability with endgame stuff, right?
But does not World of Warcraft have replayability with endgame stuff?
But that's,
Yeah, but it's terrible.
but it's like
Well, given the latest patches
like-
have been better, but it's
I'm
been
talking about OG in its prime.
Yeah, those were good dungeons. Well, not all of them were good, but
see-
most of them were.
but
So
David,
a handful
at
of them
one
were
point somebody pressed enter, and then the map was created, and then they moved. You know,
No, and then they went in. And then
and
they
they
went in
used
and
the-
handcrafted it.
yeah, but they still procedurally generated something.
That's like saying, okay, it's like this. It's like me saying I'm a painter, and I just press a enter button, and it just does something on a canvas for me. That's procedurally generated versus me taking my brush on a canvas that is already made, and I then add to the canvas with my art. That's what I want.
Okay, I think that's what you're gonna get.
That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
what
I know,
that's
but
why
you
I'm hyped
just-
here.
But
You just-
but
you
you're
just-
really like just smashed on a lot of
procedurally
dreams.
I
You
mean,
just totally.
And everyone's
mean-
like, "You have no idea how."
I mean,
tech
a lot
works,
of
bro.
a lot of these
You're an
games,
idiot.
a lot
That's
of
what-
these.
That's why
That's
everyone's
like an
listening right now.
ignorant. I don't know if that's.
Well, I
worth
mean,
it.
a lot of these games reuse the same engine. Is that terrible too? I mean, that's
No, that's
because
that's
they're.
fine.
I mean, that's lazy.
No, it's not.
They're not redoing it. They're
No,
not.
I'm
They're not
talking,
handcrafting.
I'm not talking
it.
about the foundation. I'm talking about the everything. The complete package.
I want them to actually try when they make this game. Okay, I don't want this half-baked, lazy press enter shit.
To be honest, to be fair, the last like 5 big hitters that have come out have been like they did that. So in David's defense, there has been a lot of
That's what I'm
quote
saying.
unquote lazy. Yeah, but I mean,
But you're
But I'm
kind
talking
of
about,
leaning
like-
too hard that direction.
but I'm not just talking about procedurally generated
You're
games. I'm
like-
just talking about games in general.
You're like watching. Yeah. You're just upset at life right now. I think. Are you just mad? Are you hungry? I have some.
No,
like,
it is
chicken.
hot in here still. I'm sweating. This is sweaty, David. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, no, but going back to the planets, I just worry that there will
No,
be too much of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would like them all to have a
That's
purpose.
okay. That's the impression that they gave that it will be. Each one will be really unique and special, and that you want to explore.
Yeah, 'cause they talked-
hopefully they
yeah.
can pull that off. If they pull that off, that the idea, the concept really appeals to me.
Well, because how cool would it be, like I was saying earlier, if you go, because they said like some will be, they gave different description of planets. Some will be mining planets, some will be this, you know what I mean? But how cool would it be if you went to planet 76, found a guy and did this crazy side quest, similar to like when you'd go to a dungeon or a far corner of Skyrim and you get sidetracked for hours because you're helping a person out.
I think that's exactly
so
what
if
this
that's
will be.
how it'll work, that's impressive.
As soon as I make my ship, I'm heading to planet 69.
Yeah, do you think they're
Because,
numbers?
I like that. I like that we just assume their numbers.
Oh, they have
even
to
though
be.
the pirates are from
420,
Crete,
here
right?
I come.
Aren't the pirates Crete? So there's going to be a
Crete,
Crete
yeah.
planet.
Planet Crete.
Which,
probably
by the
main
way,
story.
you can totally customize your ship, fight in them, move them around.
well,
That blows my mind.
after watching this, I see why the game was delayed. There's quite a bit of systems in here. They've got a full RPG system. They got the ship customization, the base building. You can fly your ship around. Now, I do not think it'll be like No Man's Sky where you actually go from planet to space. I think there's going to be a loading screen in between because they specifically did not show you getting and flying up. You know,
Did they
Because
not?
I was thinking, I was like, oh man, is it going to be that?
Oh,
like
you might
know,
be right.
So I think that, which is not a
But look, here's
it's not
the
a
map
deal
with
breaker
the
for
solar
me.
system. It looks good. It looks cool. Oh, spicy.
Yeah.
Is this going to be your most played game of the year, do you think?
If
If
it actually
it's-
comes
if
out in
it's-
2023,
If it's what was promised.
what else is coming out in 2023 that is not as hyped as, or like
Well-
is as hyped as this?
I don't know. I think we're going to get some big announcements to come out at the end of next year.
Yeah.
But this is so at the beginning of the show they said it was Sarah Bond again, the most anticipated RPG of the last 20 years, and I thought to myself, well, that's a big statement. After
No, it
watching
is. Yeah, it
watching
is.
this, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. You know what's really cool? So they revamped their character creator. You can choose what kind of walk you have. I hope they have some guy with like a limp. You know?
Yeah. You're going to pick Limp Guy?
Yeah.
I want a Jar Jar Binks walk.
Yeah, where he's like just kind of like yeah. They because it showed if you go like it shows like you can pick your walk. Whoa. All right.
So, Spicy, give me your thoughts. Just what
On Starfield?
How did you feel about it when you first saw it? What was your reaction to it?
So, chat mentioned this earlier, and I kind of got the same impression. So it has a very, very thick Fallout kind of not in artistic design,
But gameplay style.
But
yeah, you see a lot of Fallout influences.
yeah, a lot of it, and it's a lot of the things that made me fall in love with Fallout. What I bring up with chat is they were saying how cool it would be to have like the conflict of morality choices that you have. A, do I want a nice penthouse in this hotel? B, in order to get that, should I blow up that town?
I hope there's a nuke quest. in
Yes.
this game. That
Yeah,
would,
like
that would be amazing.
there-
But this time it's a planet.
where there's the choice of no choice is a good choice. You just have to screw some people over.
Yeah.
Or greed that you have, and how that influences other things in the game, like in Fallout when you choose to destroy, I think it's Nuketown. What's the place? Megaton. That's what it is. When you
Fallout 3.
choose to blow that town up, then you meet later on, if you so happen to find her, one of the citizens of that place, and she's still just as happy as ever, but she looks melted and destroyed
like a ghoul.
like a ghoul, and then you're like, "Ooh, that was I did
her.
that so I could have a nice hotel room, a nice view." One of the great things about Fallout and the style that I'm seeing in Starfield is kind of the choices you make carry drastic influences, and I want that. It's looking like this game has that feel that Fallout has, a very Bethesda feel.
Yeah. Do they open this up like Skyrim to the modding community?
For sure.
I think-
they
I
opened
think
up
most games
Fallout.
should be
Yeah,
open to
Fallout.
modding communities, yeah.
A lot of the things that was modded was quality of life changes. Like you could call your dog from wherever, and they could just hold more things. Which that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're playing a Fallout game, that's actually a very good quality of life. You don't want to lose your dog that has your backpack that has all the stuff that you have, and all that's and Skyrim, same thing. I mean, look at the modding community in Skyrim, right? So they're for sure going to open that up. I don't know when. It may take a month, a year, a couple of years, but the modding community makes some great things. Quality of life, a lot. I mean, Thomas the Train is Dragons.
One of the greatest mods ever.
Yeah, and then just the graphical changes, improvements on Skyrim. Some of those advancements since the game has released versus hardware of today. I mean, you can make Skyrim look like one of the most amazing games in the world today.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll definitely get that. But
Jordan, let's end with you. Thoughts, impressions, anything that we've not touched on here with Starfield?
I'm really excited. We didn't talk about the skill system that they have. It sounds like they've taken a lot of the best of the skill systems from their previous games and put them in here. So each skill, you can go through each tree. Each tree has a skill, and then that skill can continuously be ranked up through ranks. Looks like 1 through 4, but basically, you can design your character the way you want. And that's what Bethesda games like a Skyrim, like you can play the way you want. How many times have we played Skyrim and you get sidetracked? Yeah, you don't even play the main mission until 20 hours in. You know, like I like letting players play the way they want. I like the idea of giving us stuff to do, building bases, customizing our ships, which they then did say the way you customize your ship will impact how it performs in space. Like if you go all engines, you'll be really fast, but maybe you don't have weapons, or if you're heavy, or if you're more of a fighter ship, because there is space combat. But no, I'm really excited. I know I saw people talking about the gunplay. I thought the gunplay looked decent. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to be Modern Warfare gunplay because that's obviously what they focus on.
Yeah, no. Whereas I've never been like that.
I think it's going to be a improved version of Fallout gunplay, which I'm okay with.
I thought the gunplay looked solid.
No, I thought it looked good too, but I mean, it didn't look like Modern Warfare gunplay.
No, of course
you know
not.
what I mean? So I mean, but
this is the part that I love. Look at being able to hire staff inside your. Oh. Yes.
I'm excited to play this game. I really hope there's a lot of stuff to get lost in, especially when it comes to side quests. The one thing I love about Skyrim is just going through like Whiterun and being sidetracked by random dungeons. I hope they have that from Skyrim. Random dungeons.
Skyrim has done best this. They encouraged exploration and rewarded you for it. This game is based on exploration, so I would imagine
with zero procedurally generated shit.
Yes, so I would imagine that they'll be able, hopefully, to capture that same.
But yeah, doing what
essence.
you want, leveling what you want. I mean, you can do a lot of this in Fallout too, but it almost seems to me like they've taken the systems of Fallout, like your base building space. In this game you can build a ship, the gunplay. Obviously, I didn't see VATS, which I'm okay with because I'd rather have real-time combat, but maybe there's a perk for that. And then if they can combine that with the exploration of a Skyrim or even like an Oblivion, or even Morrowind for that matter, I think this game could be the most. I mean, it could be.
I wonder if one of the planets is going to be like the Elder Scrolls planet.
Yeah, the field that we saw in that trailer.
And the long-term plan is Starfield sits above all of Bethesda's other games. One planet will be Earth, and that will be the Wolfenstein game.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like combining everything together. You see the Slayer's fortress in the sky.
We didn't even talk about their crafting system, but they obviously have a crafting system that they built on. So I'm really excited for the story of this and just the exploration of it, and I hope it pans out to be very good.
So I'm someone that has jumped really heavy into Red Dead Redemption 2 again and really taken my time to lose myself in the world, and I think this game is going to have that in a similar vein of a Red Dead, but more so, the exploration like you talked about with Skyrim. There hasn't been a game to date that has encouraged me to explore like Skyrim has, and this looks like it does. So on that, let's leave everybody. Let's turn up the music and get out of here. And let's leave everybody to Björn Maynard's comment. He says, honestly, before I wasn't too into Starfield, but after seeing this showcase yesterday, I was absolutely blown away. It does look good.
Oh, man.
The Xbox Bethesda Showcase. It has come. It has went. It was a glorious time.
Bjorn Mayer in chat, what did you think of the Overwatch 2 showing? I loved it. So, loved it. So, I'm super excited.
Till next year, everybody. Till next year. We'll be back on Friday. Don't forget to tune in each and every single week. to the XoneBros. Come subscribe to us on YouTube. Like and review us over on Apple Podcasts. Also Spotify. Share us with your friends. Happy week. A big week. Xbox 2023. Here we come, everybody.
Love you.